I don't know how this is the first time I've done a Bilal Coulibaly video on this channel. I definitely planned it before and around the draft because he was one of my favorite prospects this last year, and he has been one of the few big bright spots for the Wizards. He and Denny taking another leap are probably the two main ones, and his defensive performance in this game from tonight, tonight on the night I'm recording this, against the Pistons was stellar, and I wanted to highlight how he has been so impactful on defense. This was like the toilet bowl of the NBA season. Pistons fans are just down horrendous, but let's talk about Bilal. Rarely do you see rookie wings, let alone anyone, play as the big defender in pick and roll, hedge out to Sasser, recover, and explode for a block on a 7'3" center. It doesn't really happen. Bilal has really special point of attack, pick and roll defense upside. His footwork, his agility, his flexibility are all fantastic. He stuck with Cade all night. Look at him squeeze the screen, stay as tight as he can with the footwork, and he always keeps an arm attached so he knows where Cade is. Prioritizes taking these long steps to get back in front of Cade and force a pass. And this is something we're going to see throughout, is Bilal taking these really long, explosive steps to get back in front. Right here again, he sticks to Duren, has these long strides, is like very flexible and low to the ground and explosive, so he can get back in front of Cade, who ends up scoring here with nice craft and moves. But the athletic tools and some of the technique is very apparent already for Bilal. Some of it's just perfect textbook teach tape, really. Going over this screen, keeping his left arm on Cade's body to feel, right arm in the passing lane, and he forces a turnover by pressuring Cade into that. This is veteran stuff against a really good ball handler, and Bilal had a field day with this. We see the long steps again. He gives up a score here. The strength is definitely a major issue. He really struggles to use his strength to muscle through, and anytime someone like Isaiah Stewart or Duren makes solid contact, he kind of gets blown up. But he's so aggressive in fighting through and trying to recover, and we can see how many steps it takes him to cover, barely any ground. He's way behind this play, beyond the three-point line, but he takes 1, 2 long steps. He's right in Sasser's grill, and Sasser ends up hitting a good shot. I think a little thing Bilal can improve on is getting hands up for these late contests. Bilal is here, but he's not really aggressive, or he isn't the type to go for rear view contests and blocks, which I really feel like he should be because he has the physical tools and the footwork to get there really often. So that's just a little thing. The hips, the speed. He's a special defensive athlete, as this is not a good situation to be in. Guarding your half court, Killian Hayes turns his hips, so he is going to have to turn and chase, and Bilal just glides in front of him, jumps and contests with great length. Obviously, it's Killian Hayes, but tools are tools, fast is fast, and Bilal is a smothering defensive athlete at time. We see him go for the dig right here. Such an active nail, one pass away helper. His length and explosion allows him to get a two-hand dig, force Livers to pick the ball up, and be able to recover here, deflect this pass, and he takes it all the way for the bucket in transition. That is great work by Bilal. He's also one of the youngest players in this rookie class. He is very recently 19, and that just makes what he's doing all the more impressive. He is a fantastic close and recover, or tag and recover guy. He has both of his feet in the paint when Killian Hayes makes this pass, and for a lot of defenders, this is dead in the water, wide open three given up. But Coulibaly, with ridiculous length explosion, can get back and alter that shot. It is not common to see rookies not only have these kind of tools, but also be willing to use them. The positioning is really, really solid as a low man help defender. He's early, is in position before Wiseman catches the ball in case he wants to barrel through him, and Wiseman ends up scoring or drawing a foul here. But the positioning nonetheless is impressive and allowed time for his other help defense to recover and help him out. Obviously, it didn't work there, but it's good stuff nonetheless. This is another like closeout play, and how fluid of a mover he is in all directions. It's change of pace and change of direction. The same stuff that makes like ball handlers special works here. Again, we see shading at the nail, forcing the pass out. Really quick hip turn. Sasser has him beat badly here, but he keeps a hand attached, as we've been talking about throughout the whole thing. Flips his hips, and like we said, this is, I should have put this clip with the other one. This is basically exactly the same, where you're back in the play. Block that shit. Like, he can definitely block that, or at least get a really good contest. I would like to see Bilal Coulibaly go for some more rear views. He should be watching Matisse Thybulle tape, but only the good part of the Matisse Thybulle tape, not the bad part, because I think he already does that well enough. Length is just going to be a pest, a bother, absolutely everywhere. Going to be hard to throw post entries at someone with his reflexes and instincts. If there is a hole to pick in the defense, it's definitely like his straight ISO point of attack defense, which isn't so important, as he's much more of like a pick and roll and like help defender at this point. But he definitely is a bit reachy and can overplay. Obviously, this is Killian Hayes, so he's not really burned at all. But we see how tight he likes to play guys, and his willingness and ability to pressure is really nice. But he's just not very smart about it. Like, he's leaning way too far forward here. His balance off. This is like the old like Avery Bradley stance, and you have to be able to get in your slide and explode laterally, and he just isn't able to do that right here when he's playing that close to Killian Hayes at this point. The like lateral first step isn't amazing or anything, so that's a situation where he's not great, and he just tends to reach at this point, which is a very common thing for young defenders who like to play pressure. Again, instead of going for like the slide, he has his left foot basically opened up, inviting Cade to beat him to the right, reaches in, and just gets totally burned to the basket. But these are fairly small technical fixes, and that, along with the strength, which is not a small fix, but it's something that a lot, if not most 18-year-old, 19-year-olds develop a ton within the next 3-4 years of their career. And Bilal's strength isn't so bad that it's like a huge problem. Like, he can hold guys off. He just gets bumped by screens pretty badly at this point. But the defense overall is pretty ridiculous. He is going to be so scheme versatile, and he reminds me a lot of Herb Jones in that way, honestly. Someone who you can have as your like primary pick and roll defender, but also excels as like an off-ball nail helper. Bilal probably more rim protectory than Herb, but Coulibaly is a huge bright spot. And there are reasons to be excited about the offense too, even though this video is not about that. But the defense is possibly really special. There's not a lot of guys with his tools and instincts and awareness at this age. Important to note that like he did this in a legit pro league last year playing with Wemby, and I think that really matters. And I cannot wait to keep watching him play because he is amazing.